I'm here with Ruthann Wry. She is the Chief People Officer for Qlik. How are leaders thinking about data in their strategy, particularly with HR? And what are some of the challenges you see them facing today?
First of all, it is going to bring such a game changer for the HR function as it pertains to the way we think about the employee experience. So first and foremost, our jobs are going to change every day, and I'm not afraid of that. Some people are. I remind them, no, don't be afraid because our jobs should get easier. All the things that we used to have to do manually, I joke sometimes saying I used to calculate attrition using fingers and toes. Where we are today, we're just like light years ahead of where we were when I first started in this field. So when I think about the role of HR and the opportunity we have to be more strategic and have a seat at the table and not be behind the scenes trying to calculate things, trying to come up with trends. It's all there. And certainly I think Qlik, our function is way ahead of a lot of other HR functions because we have
Yes.
the analytics technology and we are using it. We're moving more into predictive analytics, which is really exciting as well. And then the last thing that we're going to be doing is bringing in Qlik Answers. So imagine a new employee who today, admittedly, will have to one click central and start to search on things. We bring a lot of information to them, but then there'll be things we didn't think of and they'll put in the search engine. I want to know more about benefits in the UK. So imagine they can just go into Qlik Answers and ask the question and it just all comes up.
Yeah, no employee wants to read an employee handbook, right? We just want to know what's the
Exactly.
vacation
What's
policy,
the answer? I want it right
what's the
now.
maternity leave, maternity leave.
Yeah.
I need that question.
So
It will be such a
trying
big
to
changer.
bring all of that to the employee, which I think, number one, is going to make them happier because they have the information when they need it just in time, more productive. They're not going to spend 2 hours trying to find it. And it's going to help my function move from very tactical to strategic. So challenge is going to be making sure the information's accurate. I really think it is about content management too, right? So
Yeah.
we know we can pull from all different places, which is fantastic, but who's updating the information, right? Because we don't want to give somebody, oh, these were the benefits, but that was back in 1990. And that doesn't happen, but it could.
Yes.
So I think the challenge is making sure, number one, it's accurate and you can trust the data. But the other thing is to remember when it comes to the analytics side. So we're going to be able to make some quick decisions, which is fantastic. But the data is just that. It's the data. And then there's the emotional intelligence side of it. So where we don't have to rely on gut or intuition anymore, thank God, but that still does play a role.
Yep.
Sometimes the data comes up and you have to be able to question and really make sure, is this leading us in the right direction? So I think that's going to play into the kind of skills that we're going to need in the function. And we do have, but they have to continue to work that muscle again.
Yeah.
Because for so many years, we were doing things manually and very tactically.
I want to take a step back because you mentioned at the beginning, you said, I'm not afraid of change, which I think is fantastic. And you shared a little bit about all the amazing things HR individuals can do with analytics and the predictive side. How do you think the HR role is going to look today, in the next 3 years, 5 years? Like, how does it look in the future? Is it more content management? What does it look like?
I hope not. And I hope we just get better and more savvy at the content management side. I think it's going to be a more strategic role. And I think we're going to have the information at our fingertips when we need it, just in time. So I do think it's just going to be more focused on strategy, problem solving, decision making, conflict resolution, get more into the leadership development aspect, executive coaching. So it's the stuff that really makes us happy to get up every morning.
Why you went into HR probably in the first place.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think there's just so much. The other thing with not just what Qlik does, but so many of the other software companies are bringing new tools, AI-driven tools. We are getting ready to implement, I shouldn't mention the name of the company, but we're getting ready to implement a tool that's going to replace our ATS system and going to enhance the talent management experience. So imagine you're an employee, and you've been in a certain role for a few years. Maybe you were in pre-sales, right? And you've got a good technical background, but you want to do something completely different. Maybe you want to move into HR, right? Crazy, but could happen.
Yeah.
And you don't know what skills you need to do that. Or, gee, I wonder who I could talk to. Could I find a mentor within the company? Or are there any courses that the company offers that I could take? In today's world, that employee would probably talk to their manager first, and the manager would give some coaching, but gee, I don't know what it takes to be an HR person.
Yeah.
Then they'll call my person in talent development, and she'll go through the catalog and say, here are some courses. Oh, and I know someone down the street would be a great resource. Why don't you see if he or she will be your mentor? Fast forward to where we are today and the technology we have at our fingertips. Talent management AI-driven platform. It starts from the beginning when someone says, gee, I think I want to work at Qlik. And they enter into this AI-driven platform and takes them hopefully from point A, the interview process, to a brand new employee.
Wow.
And now they're sitting on the platform. Oh, let me pull in my LinkedIn profile. So then this way, people, if they want to look me up and see what I do, it's all right there. My resume gets uploaded to the platform as well. And I've been here a few years. Pre-sales, I want to be in HR. What does it take to be in HR? Oh, it pulls the skills that are necessary, skill-based, necessary
Wow.
to move into that function. Are there any courses that I can take?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, a business school program would be a great place for you to start.
Yeah.
Here's a list of courses. So everything is happening at your fingertips.
That's
So
amazing.
hopefully what we find is if you're an employee in pre-sales, you want to work in HR, but I don't think Qlik can help me, they leave the company.
Yep.
Don't leave the company.
No.
Look for a job within the company. So we have wonderful internal mobility today. I see that increasing dramatically. So you don't have to leave a company to pursue your career.
And then you're keeping all that context, that domain knowledge, everything, the culture of the company, which is what I tell anyone who's looking to change their career is don't throw everything out. You have amazing background and experience. That's your differentiator, right? That's your superpower. And I love this because it gives people those pathways, those guidestones to help them see to get where they want to be, which is amazing.
So true.
Tell me a little bit more, though, about learning and development, because that typically gets in the hands of HR, are the ones who are responsible for it. And I think every company today is trying to understand how do we help upskill our employees in AI and AI literacy. Any recommendations for HR teams out there in terms of upskilling, in terms of AI literacy?
The first thing, and I'll go back to this magical platform that we talk about.
I know, when is this coming out? I'm like, I want to know this magical one.
We're getting ready to start to implement. So we were at a point where we're like, okay, we need to bring in AI skills. Right? That happened at Qlik because we're definitely well down that path. And I kept saying, we may have the skills here.
Yeah.
Let's look at our own workforce. This platform then, skill-based, I can first look internally. If somebody has even touched on it, maybe at university level or had a different job before they joined Qlik, let's start there. There are people that we can help continue to build that muscle. So I think that's part of it. I also think the universities and everything's going to be college recruitment, get them early in career is going to be a phenomenal way to bring in that skill-based. And then internal training.
Now,
like from the beginning of COVID, when everyone stopped going to a classroom or attending conferences to go and learn about things for a few years, we brought so much virtual learning in-house. We have something called Exec Online. It's through it's a business school program. Hundreds of courses through universities like Columbia University, just top-notch, Stanford, NYU, that you can go in and find a topic just about on anything. So there's so much at our fingertips.
yeah.
And it's not that we're not offering it, being able to quickly find what you need when you need it.
100%. This is only for the older people out there. The younger kids probably don't remember what going into a library is, but I remember when I went to the library for the first time and there was a librarian who showed me like the Dewey Decimals and stuff and like how to find books, and you needed that first guide. All of the information and knowledge was there, but I needed a guide to help me find the right path so I could get the access to the knowledge. So it sounds like you guys are creating that, though, for others so that they have those guideposts, which is incredible. I can't wait till this platform gets announced, and I'm excited to check it out. What's one piece of advice you want to give to HR leaders out there, particularly in regards to their data and AI strategy?
Don't be afraid. Absolutely don't be afraid. We need to embrace change and move through it. Be responsible. Because again, when it comes to people, there's more to it than sometimes just looking at the data. Because again, there could be other influencers out there that need to be taken into consideration. So don't ever stop having empathy. Compassion is really important, and just respect data privacy. So there's just so many things that you have to trust the data, make sure it's accurate, pay attention to data privacy, and don't be afraid.
I love it. You heard it here first. And thank you, Ruthann, so much for coming and chatting with us. This
My
was
pleasure.